everyone. This is Zach here again with another message, and I wanted to share with you 2 steps to effortlessly manifest anything and everything that you want to manifest. 2 steps. Not 10, not 5, not even 3, not even 4, but 2. Just 2 things that you need to do in order to manifest anything and everything that you could ever want. And first of all, I want to say this. You don't have, now I'm not saying anything about reading books. Reading books is great, but you don't have to read tons of books. You don't have to go down to the bookstore and look up books about the law of attraction. You don't have to look up books about The Secret. Now, I'm not saying anything about The Secret. I endorse all of those books. They're great. But I know how a wealth of information or a pile of information can get very, very overwhelming when you're just searching for, how do I make it work for me? How do I make it work in my life, right? So you don't have to go to the bookstore and just go down this journey of books. This book leads to this book, which gives you a little piece here. And it's like, well, you're grasping that piece and you understand, okay, that's what I can do. And then all of a sudden it's like, You're online and you're like, this person says I need to do this, and this person says I need to do this, and then it's just a trail. It's like a vicious cycle, and then all of a sudden you're led down to an ebook, and you have to pay $97 just to get this piece of information here. And I'm not knocking anybody who's doing any ebooks or anything like that. You know, value is value, but I know how frustrating it can get to just try to understand the law of attraction, let alone how to use it. And so, but you don't have to go through all that process. And let me tell you something, guys, I've been down it. Oh man, I have been down it. I've been practicing this for, I know, 6 years. And I have read the books. I have paid the money. I have read books that were this thick, 1,000-something odd pages, that took me a month to read, and then another book that took me another month to read, and then another book that took me another month to read. And then that led me to a set of CDs that was 13 CDs that would take 48 hours to listen to. And it was just like, it just took forever. And then that led me to this other book. And then that led me to the Law of Attraction with Abraham Hicks, and so forth and so on. And then, you know, I was trying to pick this out from Abraham's teachings and just trying to pick this out. And one thing that, and I say this in pretty much a lot of my videos, but Abraham says it's not words that teach, it's life experiences. So you have to gather all of this information up, and then you have to turn around, put it in organization and say, okay, this is how I'm going to apply it into my life. But you don't have to do that. You only have to need to do 2 things, guys. Just to do 2 things. And I manifested these things. I manifested some great things, some big things, and I manifested some interesting things. I manifested things that I don't want to manifest. I've had the universe play tricks on me. I've had the universe be very, very coy, let's just say, and all I can do is just smile and laugh. But I've practiced this, and I can tell you only need to do 2 things, and this is something I do every single day. The first thing that you need to do is get into the vortex. Abraham screams it all the time. Don't do anything unless you get into the vortex. Get into the vortex before you go out the front door. Get into the vortex before you take off from where you are in the car. Get into the vortex before, literally, when you wake up. And before you go to sleep, make sure you arrive back into the vortex, so when you're asleep, you come back into the vortex when you wake up. It's everything that one needs to do is just focus on getting into the vortex. So what is the vortex? And I have a video about the vortex that goes into detail about the vortex. But just briefly, the vortex is a state of happiness. It is a consistent state of happiness. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. We're all happy a lot of times of the day, right? I mean, you have your peak moments. You have your moments that you're happy, right? But a lot of times we dip and we go back and forth and so forth. The thing of it is, you just want to consistently get into the vortex. Just get into a state of happiness. So after this video, simply all you need to do is get a piece of paper, write down a few things that make you happy. It's just a good exercise. Trust me, just do it. Just write down a few things that make you happy. If cooking makes you happy, I've said this before, then cook. If singing makes you happy, sing. Get a microphone out and sing. If dancing makes you happy, go dance. If going out and taking a walk makes you happy, take a walk. Do anything and everything. If sports makes you happy, go do a sport, basketball, football, it doesn't matter. Just do it. Here's the key, and this is where most people miss it. And I'm so excited that I can share this with you. Consistency. It's just consistency, because it's all about energy, momentum. Positive energy, momentum. Okay? So just stay in a state of consistent happiness. Doesn't have to be 100%. Not to be 100%, just 80%. 80%. You don't have to skip through the fields 24/7. All you have to do is just get in a state of happiness. Do what makes you feel happy. What makes you get in a state of happiness. If you are in a situation where, and I've said this before and I've said this on other videos, just say it briefly, but if you're in a bad situation, you're in a negative conversation, get out. Walk away. Nothing is more important, I stress this, nothing is more important than getting into a state of happiness and making happiness a priority. I know that if you're in a depressed state, I've been there. If you're in a depressed state, or you're upset, you're angry, or you're in discontent, life is not good, it doesn't matter. That's the key. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you've come from, what you've gone through. It doesn't matter. Today, right now matters. All you have to do is get into a state of happiness and consistently stay there for at least 80%. That's number one. Number two, very, 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 very simple. Get out a book, not a book, like a journal, and just write down. Once you get into the vortex, now you can get creative. Now you can effortlessly manifest that which you want, because now you're on the same frequency. You're on the frequency of your inner being. You're on the frequency of the universal energy. You are in alignment with that which you desire, and now you can ask. You can ask what you will. If you want abundance, if you want money, you can get specific with it, just as long as you feel good. But when you don't feel good, then you need to back off and go back general again. I've said that in other videos. If you want a relationship, speak it, live it, write it down, feel it, become it. Because in a state of happiness, that's what you want anyways, because everything, every single thing that you could ever want, ever desire, is because you think that you will feel better in the having of it. So write it down, script it out, speak it out, affirm it, make it a part of your life, speak it. As you are, if you're walking across, and I give you a perfect analogy, this is just my personal analogy, I'm sure there are better ones. But if you're standing on the edge of a cliff and you want to get to the other end over there on another cliff, you got this big, deep gully or whatever you're trying to get across. In your mind, build the bridge. Build the bridge, because the universe will provide, will give you that which you want and desire, because if you can think it, then it shall be done. It can be done. It is done. Ask and it is given. It is given. And I'll tell you, and I'll end with this. Everything that you want is beating down your door. If you've been in a state of depression or anger or frustration or discontentment, or you might even have peaks of just a little bit of hope, if you get into a consistent state of happiness where your desires are, then you will rendezvous with everything. It will be magical. I'm telling you guys. It will open up doors like you wouldn't believe. The universe will surprise and delight you. Will knock down your door. Almost like, open up the door in a windstorm. It's coming. It's there. It's always been there. And the only component that has not been there, in this analogy or in this case, is you. All you have to do is get in the vortex. State of happiness. Okay? I'm really excited about it. I thought about it and I just had to share that with you. I know how frustrating it can get to bits and pieces of information here and here and here and here, and this ebook here and this book there, and this person saying this, and this group's talking about this, and just get into the vortex. Just like what Abraham says, get into a state of happiness. And call on that which isn't, as if it were. Write it down exactly. Now remember, and I'll end with this again. Write exactly what you want, because the universe is consistent and is on time and is accurate. So with that being said, I'm excited to share that information with you, and I hope I know because I've been there and I do it every single day and I practice it every single day, and I'm not saying anything that I'm not doing, but I know it's going to make a huge change in your life. So I look forward to hearing from you.